Hello everybody, this is Eric. I'm going to be teaching you how to write a variable, how to define a variable, and how to add variables together. So, the reason why I created this channel was because I, when I was learning Python, I seen all these different channels, and they sort of gave you, they gave you the means of how to learn several concepts, and they did a pretty good job at that. But they didn't really do a good job at telling you how to use these to your advantage when you're creating a program. So I found that sort of strange. So I figured, you know what, someone needs to do it. So I created a channel. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to define a variable, how to convert a variable, and how to add variables together. Okay, so the first thing obviously that you're going to do is go on the Python website. So python.org/getit/. And once you're there, you're going to want to download the software that is compatible with your specific operating system. So if you're a Windows guy or girl, you want to go for this one, Mac, this one, and listen, if you're running Linux, I don't have to tell you because you run Linux. Um, so let's get started. What you're going to do is open up your Python module. And okay, what is a variable? A variable is something that you can enter information into, and the information is stored permanently, unless you overwrite it, of course. But we're not going to overwrite anything. So actually, let's call our first variable name. Now, we're going to store information into the variable name, and whatever follows this equal sign will be the sort of info that is stored inside of name. So we're going to store a string, and a string is just a fancy word for whatever is stored inside of quotation marks. Okay, so name. We're going to have our name be Fred. Okay, so now Python recognizes name as Fred. So if you were to type in name in the module, right away, Fred. Okay. So now we want to define a variable with an integer. And if if you're past the third grade, you've had a third grade math class, you know what an integer is. It is a number. Okay, so age. Age is equal to 18. So far we have two variables. One is a string, Fred, name, and the other one is age. And age is just the word we're using for 18. Okay. So now we want to add these together and sort of formulate this sentence. So let's start doing this. Okay. So far we have name, or Fred, is, and we're at, see, this is fairgrounds. We can do this. We can add a string with a string. So okay, let's do age, years of age. We're gonna get an error. This is because we're trying to tell Python that we want to add strings with an integer, and this won't fly with Python. For whatever reason, Python can't concatenate strings with integers. It just can't happen. So we need to find a way to convert our integer, or age, with to be compatible with our strings in this equation that we sort of developed or created. Okay, so basically, let's right up to the point where we screwed up last time. Name is okay. So how are we going to convert age into a string? Are we going to have to go back to the browser and download some sort of software to do this, some sort of converting software? No, we don't have to do this. It is so much more simpler than that. All that we have to do is type in string and then an open and close parentheses. Okay. An str is just like a reserved word in the Python dictionary. And whenever you see a word that is highlighted, that means that's reserved. So, like, if it's purple or orange, otherwise, I mean, if it's highlighted by green, you know you're in a string, and if it's black, it's just probably a variable, or, parentheses, or a symbol of sorts, I don't know. But, okay, so whatever we put inside of this string, we know that we are converting it into a string. And we wouldn't convert a string into a string because it'd be pointless, and there'd be absolutely no need for it. We'd be typing more than we'd have to. So basically, the only reason why you'd ever do this would be to convert an integer, a string, or an integer into a string. So we're going to type in age. It is that simple, trust me. And you're going to find out soon enough that it very well is that simple. Boom. Fred is 18 years of age. Okay, so in this tutorial we sort of established how to define a variable, whether it be a string or an integer, and how to add those variables together, or how to add strings together, and how to convert an integer into a string. It's so simple, and I'm sure you understand. But you must practice this. I mean, it may seem like it's too easy and you're going to move on to the next tutorial, but trust me, I mean, I know firsthand, I've made so many simple mistakes, and plenty of programmers do it in their early stages. So you want to really practice this, practice converting, really understand what you're doing before moving on. And this is because with all of the future tutorials, I mean, trust me guys, I've been there, you know, no need to feel embarrassed or, you know, whatever once it happens to you, because believe me, I've been there, and there's no need to be frustrated about it. Just, you know, just stay focused. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. Thanks.